the car behind me is my Chili Bowl midget, the one that I won the Chili Bowl with. And what's interesting about that is it's actually the car that iRacing scanned that's going to be available to all the iRacing members out there.
The yellow flag is out. Pit road is now open. Keep your eye on those gauges. We'll give you 4 tyres. 3, 2, 1, now. We're done. Get going.
Introducing a whole new form of racing to the best online racing simulation in the world. This is Dirt Racing on iRacing.com. Race online at some of America's most legendary dirt tracks, including Eldora and Williams Grove. iRacing is the premier online racing game featuring NASCAR, IndyCar, sports cars, and now World of Outlaws, the leading sanctioning body for dirt racing. iRacing is easy to use and features a centralized ranking system to make sure you have the best experience at any skill level. With a massive inventory of high-precision laser scan tracks and cars with an unmatched dedication to quality and detail, iRacing gives you the most authentic online racing experience available. Thanks to iRacing's dynamic track system, developed specifically for dirt racing, tracks change over the course of a race, just like your favorite dirt track on a Friday or Saturday night. From a slick racing groove all the way up to the cushion, iRacing's dirt tracks deliver non-stop racing action. Partnered with the World of Outlaws, iRacing is your source for the most authentic dirt racing experience available, featuring 4 brand new tracks and 11 new cars, including street stocks, Legends cars, late models, NASCAR trucks, winged and non-winged sprint cars, with much more on the way. Join the Dirt Revolution on iRacing.com and start slinging mud today.
horsepower isn't just for NASCAR. It's for your car. It's for off-road and the on-ramp. You need it when you're drifting. You want it when you're passing. Get more of it with a K&N high-flow air filter, designed to increase horsepower with up to 50% more airflow. Because whether your green light flashes here or here, everyone loves that fast car smell.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network this Thursday night. Back to the regular action this Thursday after the holiday season and being off for another additional week. Week number 9 in the Tundra Super Sim Series takes us on into New Smyrna Speedway here for the JVM Racing 125. Just 2 weeks left after tonight, and we'll crown a champion here late in the 2017 Super Late Model season. And coming into tonight, into week number 9, Joe Schaefer Jr. still atop of the field only by 11 points. And folks, coming into week number 9, one of the things we talk about week in and week out is that the drop weeks, that each driver that races regularly in this league is given 2 opportunities to drop either to miss a race or to drop their worst race if they attend them all, to better further and tighten those point gaps. And coming into week number 9 with that 11-point margin that Joe Schaefer Jr. has over David Krikorian, it was about 42 points prior to the Thanksgiving break. So definitely tightening things up here into this week. And these guys are going to have to put it down for these next 2 weeks. Next week will be Myrtle Beach Speedway, and that is going to be one to watch, as that track can be brutal. Talking about the points, though, we'll give you the top 10 to rundown as it stands. Joe Schaefer Jr. atop of the field. David Krikorian, Bill Martin, Colin Ullman, and Adam Benefield rounding out the top 5. Kyle Souza and Ty Spearman are tied for 6th. In 8th position is Samuel Roush. 9th, Jason K. Miller. And rounding out the top 10, the hitman this season, that is that 32 Glazers driver, Trevor Edwards, who, I tell you what, folks, if you did tune in through the broadcast, the Fall Brawl Spectacular, Trevor Edwards coming away with a victory in that. And quite a Cinderella story, to say the least, folks. Trevor Edwards locking into the Fall Brawl Spectacular through a non-winners race at the I can't remember, the track escaped my mind now. Actually, is at Five Flags. He won the non-winners race, locking into that event, went out the next night, and in the Tundra Super Late Model Series, led from green to checkered that race, and then went out and won the Fall Brawl Spectacular. just unbelievable Cinderella story for that kid. Now ranked 10th overall in points in the Tundra Super Sim Series. So we'll have to see how this will play out in these coming weeks. Could he salvage and get a top 5 finish? We're not sure, but we'll have to see how that plays in the coming weeks. Real quick, before we get underway here tonight, I'm going to pull Matt Rolfe in, and haven't had a chance to talk to him for the last couple of weeks. He went down to the Snowball Derby, had some fun down there, and is now back to the weekly grind here, Matt. We got 2 weeks after tonight. This is week number 9, and talking about the drop weeks, really tighten that point margin up. What is your thoughts on what we're going to see here at New Smyrna?
Yeah, we had some good battling before the off weeks at the top of the standings, and we took those 2 drop weeks out, so every driver got to drop their lowest 2 races of the season, and it just tightened the points at the top of the standings. We got Joe Schaefer and David Krikorian right there at the top, and a couple guys within striking distance, but I see a couple guys missing tonight, so we'll see how the points shake out. But New Smyrna, it's been a tough track for us in the past. We haven't been here in probably over a year now, so hopefully we can settle in here early on, but we'll see. It's a tough track. Hopefully if we get some green flag laps in, there'll be 2 grooves and we'll go from there, but gotta have patience early on, so we'll see how this goes.
Definitely looking forward to it. Best of luck to you out there here tonight, Matt, and appreciate the words here prior to the race.
All right, thanks.
And again, tonight's sponsor, JVM Racing, for the JVM 125 here in New Smyrna. The Tundra Super Late Models, the series sponsor, as well as Midwest Power Source coming on board. Heights Pride, Callaway Investments, Donuts Designs, and all the rest down there on the bottom is your sponsors for this Thursday night Super Late Model League. Got a few moments here before we go down to the grid and get you tonight's starting lineup. It was Ty Spearman getting in the pole position. I believe there's going to be a 7-car invert. Let's take a look at the track information real quick here at this wonderful half-mile track in the Daytona Beach area. 69 degrees in the air, 82% humidity, some overcast with a track temperature matching that air at 69 degrees. Any moment now, we should be heading down to the grid and getting tonight's starting lineup for you folks, whether you're getting us out there on Twitch, YouTube, or even Facebook Live. We do thank you for tuning in to catch the viewership out here. You're going to see some great racing tonight. A lot of these drivers will be battling it out for 125 laps around this half-mile track. And it looks like they are ready to bring them in. So we're going to head down to the grid and get you tonight's starting lineup to see where your drivers are starting at. Taking a look at the starting lineup, folks. Down there on the track in the pole position is going to be the number 14 of Kyle Souza in the pole position. After the 7-car invert, Drew Krybeck will be to his outside. Inside of row number 2 is your second overall in points, the 66 of David Krikorian. He's going to have the 56 of Brandon Wilkinson to his outside. The Fall Brawl Spectacular winner, that is the number 32 of Trevor Edwards, will round out the top 5 inside of that third row. To his outside, the series points leader himself, the number 6 of Joe Schaefer Jr. Pole man himself tonight, 92 of Ty Spearman, will start in 7th inside of that 4th row. To the outside, the number 25 of Michael Beamish. Jimmy Mullis, A.J. Rogers will round out row number 5 and the top 10. Taking a look on back, we got Ken Morin Jr., Chris Shannon, Billy Moon, Garrett Conrath, Michael Baxter, Alex Krasper, Matt Rolfe, Michael Osdick, Ben Nile, Matthew Eddy. In your field here tonight, Samuel Roush, Donald Clark, Brandon Kopinger, Michael Carlson, Zach Novak, Zach Rionen, Russell Berry, and Scott Dunlap. And that Mustang iRacing pace car taking them around for the first of 2 pace laps before we get the green flag here tonight. It's going to be one to watch here, folks. The next time by, we'll see the green flag, and the JVM Racing 125 will be underway. as they make their way into turns 1 and 2 on behalf of the Sim Auto Racing Association, the Tundra Super Sim Series, iRacing.com, and the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Dustin Caldwell, and we're ready to go racing here in New Smyrna. Pace car will be off the track this time by in turns 3 and 4. Here we go. Taking us to the green, the number 14 of Kyle Souza into turn number 4. Here we go. Green flag in the air. And taking a look out in the front of the field, the number 14 of Kyle Souza has got a nice 0.3 of a second lead, firing into the backstretch out of turn number 2. Right behind him, though, is that number 12 of Drew Krybeck, the Wisconsin Mayhem driver in the Tundra Super Late Model Series, part of the series sponsor. Looking really solid. Here comes the 66 of Krybeck. Right behind him is the 32 of Trevor Edwards. That rounds out your top 4. Rounding out the top 5, the series points man himself, the number 6 of Joe Schaefer Jr., coming through the front stretch into lap number 4. And again, folks, just 2 weeks remaining after tonight's race, and a champion will be crowned. How about the side-by-side action between Jimmy Mullis and Brandon Wilkinson? Wilkinson to the high side, Mullis will go by the inside, and he picks up 7th position. Into lap number 5 they roll. Back up front, a sizable lead. Heading into turn number 3 was about a half a second. As he comes through the front stretch, it's going to be 0.6 of a second as he heads into lap number 6. But look at this. Drew Krybeck can see David Krikorian putting some pressure here. Controversially, Trevor Edwards right there behind the 66 Exalta machine. It is a tight-knit battle here, and now Krikorian looking to the inside of the number 12. It looks like about a low to mid groove working through turns 1 and 2 as they go through the backstretch. Into turn number 3, Krikorian backed off just a little bit for the number 12. He's got to look for an opportunity to pass as these turns are narrow here at New Smyrna Speedway. Trevor Edwards sticking right there with the 66. Got a little bit of a gap between him and Joe Schaefer Jr. Pretty much all the drivers in the top 15 are single file action as you take a look here. We'll bring you up to the high cam to let you catch that action. Apparently this is our high cam, so how about that? We'll back it off and we'll take it to the center field cam there. There's a nice inside cam for you. As we scorch your ears with that one. Into lap number 10 they go. Inside camera showing you the action as they roll through the backstretch. And Krikorian still trying to stick with Krybeck. Krybeck, about less than a half a second, has gained some time there on the 14 of Kyle Souza. 10 laps now complete here in the JVM 125 this Thursday night. Through the backstretch, you see the pole man himself, the 92 of Ty Spearman. Spearman trying to get up there. Good old Kentucky boy behind that wheel. Into lap number 12, he's trying to catch Joe Schaefer Jr. He's feeling a little bit of pressure there from Jimmy Mullis right there behind him. Mullis, interesting fact about this number 40 machine, in the Fall Brawl Spectacular, had a great car and was awarded the best looking car, the best looking paint scheme, and that is it right there in that 250 lapper down in Pensacola. And right behind Mullis, Wilkinson in 8th position. Take a look at the gappage between 7th and 8th. You're almost looking about a second and a 1.1 second gap between Mullis and Wilkinson as Wilkinson continues to roll around, and Mullis was taking a look there to the inside of Spearman. He's going to roll up to the high side now as you see Joe Schaefer Jr. going to work on Trevor Edwards into lap 15, turns 1 and 2. Back up front, look at this. Kyle Souza looking for an opportunity to score some points here late in the season. Kyle Souza running 6th overall in the series points, just about 73 points behind Joe Schaefer Jr. He's got 2 top 5 finishes this season, 4 top 10s, and nothing in the win column, so win number 1 would happen tonight if he does carry this all the way to the checkered flag. The guy right behind him, how about Drew Krybeck? Looking really solid as he's trying to gain some time. He gets about that 2/10 of mark and he falls off a little bit and he comes back, so a little bit of inconsistency there. And now David Krikorian trying to go to work, but we got a side-by-side battle. Edwards to the high side of Schaefer Jr. Joe Schaefer Jr. in turn number 3 working that lower groove, stays by the yellow line, fires it to the wall in the front stretch right in front of Trevor Edwards. Edwards not able to get by the number 6, and now Joe Schaefer Jr. starting in 6th position, up 2 spots here in the first 20 laps of this race, now up in 4th. And he'll look to run down the guy just behind him in the series points, the 66 of David Krikorian. Mullis is now looking to go to work here on the 92 of Spearman, looking to the inside. He's going to try to get him out of turn number 4. They're side by side in the front stretch. What a drag race, and the 92 of Spearman will win that one in turn 1 going into lap 21. Mullis will still continue to fight with him, but what a battle it was from 3 to 4 into the front stretch. And Ty Spearman can rest easy now, holding on to that 6th position slot. Wilkinson, though, we could talked about this. How about this? Brandon Wilkinson all by his lonesome now. And it looks like even more, about a 4/10 to a 2nd gappage there between Wilkinson and Bremish. Michael Bremish, the number 25, making a debut here tonight. It was also with the 181. That's Morin Jr. The number blocked out because of triple digits. Not that it's a bad thing, but what a battle we got into one. Beamish up to the high side is going to lose out. Here comes Matt Rolfe. Or excuse me, that's Garrett Conrath. I thought that was a 5. It's a 9. Garrett Conrath right there behind the 181 machine of Morin Jr. Jumping back up front, taking a look at the race lead. It'll be 100 laps to go this time by as Souza crosses, putting 25 laps into the book tonight. Krybeck still about 4/10 of a second off of him coming out of turn number 2. Schaefer Jr. got around the 66 of David Krikorian, now up into 3rd from 6th to 3rd in the first 25 laps of tonight's race. Now looks to put the pressure now on number 12, Drew Krybeck. Krikorian falling off the pace just a little bit. We'll have to see how Joe Schaefer Jr. navigates these 2 cars ahead if he's going to go to the race lead. Spearman, it looks like he's got a little bit of breathing room on Jimmy Mullis at this point. Heading closer and closer to Trevor Edwards. About 1.9 seconds off Kyle Souza, your race leader. And there you see him working through the front stretch. Got about a 3-car length gap between the 40 of Mullis and himself. Here comes Schaefer Jr. looking to the inside. He won 2nd position. Side by side with Krybeck out of 4. He's got it. Oh, and Krikorian almost had some contact there with Krybeck. Krybeck falls back to 3rd. Krikorian now is seeking out opportunity. And tonight it looks like turn number 3 providing the passing opportunity deep inside. If some of these other drivers roll up a little wide, then you're going to definitely give up a spot, maybe 2. The battle rages on. There you see Krikorian. And now Schaefer Jr. looking to put a lead change in the column tonight. Kyle Souza's got the race lead. He's out wide. Out of turn number 2 here on lap 32. Can Kyle Souza keep the race lead? What a momentum off of turn number 4. He was able to hold on to it. Schaefer Jr. had some momentum right there in 3 and 4, and now again he's going to go to the inside. Look at how he shaves off the time, almost to the bumper of Souza out of turn number 4. Lap traffic ahead. This is going to get interesting. The 62 of Zachary Onan just in front of Kyle Souza. He's got to navigate this perfectly. Any mistake, and the guy who's leading the series is going to take over the lead of this race. Inside of Onan goes Souza. Onan up to the high side is where they're going to fade. Souza now recognizes that Schaefer Jr. wants that inside groove. He takes it low through 3 and 4. Lap traffic down low, slowing up, allowing these lead lap cars to continue to battle on, and what a battle up front. Here comes Schaefer Jr. yet again. Again tonight, week number 9 in the Tundra Super Sim Series. Joe Schaefer Jr. here at the JVM 125, just an 11-point margin between that guy and the 66 Exalta machine. Right behind him, David Krikorian looking to capitalize. If he's able to get a win, it will definitely help the cause in these final 2 weeks. After tonight, we got Myrtle Beach and in Lanier in just 2 weeks coming up. Krikorian is closing in on Schaefer Jr. as well. Still watching the battle going on. And it looks like Michael Baxter, the lap traffic there to the inside, allowing the lead lap cars by. And Schaefer Jr. looking for opportunity. On the doorstep, ready to ring the bell. Right there at the quarter panel, Kyle Souza, and he got a little bit loose. A little overdrive action off that 4th turn. Just trying to keep off the quarter panel of the leader, and a little bit of skip right there, and there goes opportunity. Kyle Souza got loose out of turn number 2. Off turn number 4, here comes Schaefer Jr. He's got him at the line. There's a lead change here tonight, but it's going to be a side-by-side battle here on lap 42. Yellow flag comes out, slow car in the backstretch. And it looks like right now, Kyle Souza will go back to the race lead. So we'll follow Michael Baxter here. I think Michael Baxter came through the pits. I'm not sure if this was the cause of it. We'll switch over to Zachary Onan here. One of these two drivers. Somebody was slow up coming out of pit road, and I think it was Baxter. Somebody was sitting down low. And the yellow flag comes out, and not exactly sure. I thought I saw somebody sitting on the back of the track in the backstretch. And that's what it might have been, but Conrath makes his way out of the pits. If you're just tuning in, folks, tonight's Tundra Super Sim Series, Super Late Models racing at New Smyrna, week number 9. It's the JVM Racing 125. Kyle Souza, 43 laps of this race led out of the 45. The guy right behind him had him at the line, was going to work on him when that first caution flag had come out. Tonight's sponsors again, Tundra Super Late Models, Midwest Power Source Inc., HeightsPride.com, Callaway Investments, Donuts Designs, and all the rest down below, sponsoring your Super Late Model series. Here's a look at the top 5 as it stands. Kyle Souza, Joe Schaefer Jr., David Krikorian, Trevor Edwards, and Ty Spearman. Spearman again tonight got the pole position, started 7th due to that 7-car invert, so he's working his way up 2 slots into the top 5. Keep an eye out for him on the back half of tonight's race. Look at your race summary as we've got 45 complete, 2 lead changes, little switcheroo between Souza and Schaefer Jr., and 1 total caution. They'll be bunching up this time by. Lights should be off that pace car. There we are, ready to get back underway. Tonight's wall cams brought to you in part by Ryan Eckstein of Eckstein Cams, folks. Always gets us up close and personal with these beasts on the track. Glad you could join us. Here we go. It's going to be lap number 48 when we get back underway. Kyle Souza, Joe Schaefer Jr., David Krikorian, Trevor Edwards, your front 4. Pace cars in, green flags out. Here we go. And now Kyle Souza through turns 1 and 2 on lap 49. Fighting to keep in the race lead as the number 6 of Joe Schaefer Jr. Looking to take it away from him. And how about the bottleneck right behind him? The 4-pack of cars fighting side by side through the front stretch. And now Souza swinging wide out of 2. May have just given opportunity here to the number 6 of Schaefer Jr. Out of turn number 4, here he comes. It's going to be another race. And this time, Joe Schaefer Jr. takes over the race lead for his 2nd lap led on the night. Trevor Edwards looking to do battle up front. And now Schaefer Jr. continues to fight for the race lead. Can he clear the 14 of Souza? He's got it into turn number 1 here on lap 52. And just been told a fun fact that Kyle Souza was a season 4 fighting in the Super Late Model Championship in season number 4. So that's a neat little fact there. As you see the 14 battling right there with Edwards. Edwards to the inside in the favorable groove at this 69-degree track temp. New Smyrna Speedway. Lower groove winning out. And now Jimmy Mullis into the mix. Mullis side by side, and the longer that Kyle Souza is going to stay up there in that higher groove, the more positions he's going to lose. He's trying to stay competitive, but it gets really tough, and he may edge out Mullis, and he does. What a muscle power by the 14 of Kyle Souza to get back into 3rd, and Mullis not able to capitalize on Souza being to the outside. Schaefer Jr. now in front of the field with a 3/4 of a second lead. Champion caliber driver right here, folks. And he's showing it, flexing this super late model muscle out of turn number 4. He's going to go up to a close to a 9/10 of a second lead. Closer and closer to that 1 second gap. Trevor Edwards, though, still in 2nd. And now Jimmy Mullis yet again taking a peek to the inside of Kyle Souza, dipping down low, turns 3 and 4. Mullis looking to get 3rd. He's not going to have it at the line. Souza, though, may be forced up to the high side yet again, and now Mullis looks to the inside. David Krikorian held up by these 2 cars doing battle in front of him. Running in 5th position and been as high as about 3rd tonight. And Souza sticking in 3rd position. An eager Jimmy Mullis looking to take it away from it. Ty Spearman in 6th. Back behind David Krikorian, looking on from the outside of the top 5. Zach Novak, a new driver to the series here tonight, doing battle here with the 56 of Brandon Wilkinson. Started 25th in the field. He's up into the top 10, currently running 9th and looking to get by the driver just ahead. Again, it's Brandon Wilkinson. How about that? Talk about a hard charger right there. And Mullis continuing to lose a little bit off the pace. Krikorian may try underneath him yet if he has the opportunity, as Mullis just cannot get by Kyle Souza. And some good side-by-side racing here with A.J. Rogers in the number 43, taking a look at Matt Rolfe and the 181. Ironic fact I learned here tonight. This 181 that Ken Moran Jr. is running in, Matt Rolfe actually designed this paint scheme, minus the hood modifications, for his actual father when his father was racing super late models. Just a really neat factor to see that car right next to the guy who designed that paint scheme for his father in real life. Unbelievable. And Joe Schaefer Jr., take a look at this, 1.9 seconds in front of that second position, Trevor Edwards. Mullis still continues the battle with Souza for third as Trevor Edwards just ahead. And now Mullis trying to work by. Kyle Souza can't do it out of 2. And the stagger between third, fourth, and fifth. Everybody's trying to dive as deep as they can into the turn. Through the backstretch, Kyle Souza sticks in front of Mullis. Novak trying to catch Krybeck. Krybeck in 7th. Novak back there in 8th. He was able to get around Wilkinson and putting that 56 machine down into 9th. Matt Rolfe, as we saw him earlier, started 17th here tonight, cracks into the top 10. Here heading into lap number 70. There you see the number 22 of Michael Osdijk and the 06 of Alex Krasper. Krasper making his debut tonight in the Tundra Super Sim Series. Got a lot of new names out there. Just getting some damage report for you folks. It looks like Michael Beamish, Michael Baxter, and Donald Clark, 3 of the drivers started in tonight's race, have bowed out due to mechanical problems, not able to continue. So it's going to be an early night for those 3. Samuel Roush now is looking to get past and go a lap down by your race leader, Joe Schaefer Jr. Samuel Roush had a really good car at Pensacola at Five Flag Speedway tonight. And it's the thing about short track racing, folks, you'll find is some guys are really good at certain lengths and other guys are not. It's just like in NASCAR. When somebody's really good on those restrictor plate tracks, you know, the 2-milers, Daytona, Talladega, and such, maybe even out there in the Auto Club, and even Indianapolis, they're really good on those big tracks. But you put them in Martinsville and smaller tracks in Bristol, they're not so good. Well, short track has its own realm. The half-milers are pretty much the bigger guys on the track, and these 3/10, 4/10 of mile track is where some of these guys really excel. And right now, Kyle Souza looking to the inside of Samuel Roush, bringing a trailer of cars with them as Jimmy Mullis, David Krikorian, and Ty Spearman will look to go by the 19. And a lot of green flag racing. If you're just tuning in, Only one caution flag tonight came out on lap number 41. So well over 30, close to 40 laps of green flag racing we're seeing here. And the battles rage on as now David Krikorian is looking to get by the number 40 of Jimmy Mullis. Krybeck. And Wilkinson's going to look to the inside of the number 12 of Drew Krybeck. Matt Rolfe goes down deep. Roush goes way high, allowing the lead lap traffic to get by with ease. Any impedance, I guess, from the 19 car is skewed here as he's going to stay out of the way. And David Krikorian still looking to the inside of Jimmy Mullis. A little slip there from the number 40 machine out of turn number 4. And Krikorian nearly on the bumper. Trevor Edwards still in second, looking to the inside of Zachary Onan, the 62 car. Onan to the outside. Here comes Souza. Oh, wow. Onan right in front of Souza. Luckily, didn't hold him up too much. And Onan will go to the inside through the front stretch, a little crossover. Here comes Spearman looking to the inside of Krikorian. And now Krybeck slowed up just a little bit. Right behind Zachary Onan, got the 56 of Wilkinson loose. And Novak still continues to roll in 7th. Right behind Ty Spearman, he's got, looks to be a second gap between him and Spearman as they roll through the turns here off turn 4. And Joe Schaefer Jr., 3 3/4 second lead over the field. Will look to put Scott Dunlap a lap down. And here comes Krikorian looking to the inside of Mullis. He's going to have a position out of turn 4. Caught the 40 asleep. And what a move. Second overall in points. 4th overall in this race. Heading towards lap 90. Stayed right behind Mullis. And Spearman, will Spearman take the opportunity? Looks to the inside. Krikorian's looking to the inside. He's going to make contact with Souza. Out of turn number 4. If that isn't a wake-up call or a how do you do, David Krikorian trying to slide through the 14. Door slams him. And now we'll continue to work the lower groove in the battle for that 3rd position slot. Krikorian needs every bit of position here tonight. Again, is an 11-point deficit behind Joe Schaefer Jr. And right now, the race looks like it's going to be for at least 2nd position. And Schaefer Jr.'s got almost a 4-second lead over the field. Just ahead of Kyle Souza is Trevor Edwards. And Krikorian still fighting for that 3rd position slot. Opportunity may come here as Samuel Roush. Lap traffic, he's going to try to keep the 14 of Souza up to the high side. He may pinch him on the lap traffic. Here they come off turn 4. And Souza, the wild card. Oh, he's going to wipe the nose. What a move. Oh, man. Kyle Souza says, you're not going to catch me on that lap traffic. You're not taking third position that easy. And man, did they give a little bit of contact between these two drivers. What a fight here for third position. Krikorian yet again, looking to the inside. And a big swing from Souza in turns 1 and 2 gives opportunity to the 66 of David Krikorian. Now in a pole position here at New Smyrna, part of the JVM 125 racing program tonight. And again, it's the Tundra Super Late Models, or excuse me, Tundra Super Sim Series. Tundra Super Late Models, the sponsor of this series. Week number 9 out of the 11-week season. 2 weeks remaining after tonight. Myrtle Beach, the track that they said nearly just pushing your car through the pits can take a 10th off of your time. That's how bad and how brutal that track is on tires. It's going to be a great race to watch, and it could be the make or break race of the season. Taking a look up front, 100 laps complete, 25 to go as Joe Schaefer Jr. through turns 1 and 2, carrying almost a 4-second lead. It's pretty much been that way the last 20 laps. Kyle Souza back in fourth. Jimmy Mullis feeling the pressure there from the 92 of Ty Spearman. And here comes Zach Novak. Novak has caught up with him. Novak looks to the inside of Spearman. He's going to go for 1 position. May look for 2 if he could stay underneath Mullis. And again, this kid starting 25th on the grid, now up into 6th position. Fighting through, and now Mullis will come down in front of him. Lap traffic ahead. This is where it gets exciting. Mullis dives down, Spearman stays high. It'll be 20 laps to go the next time by for these drivers. And Novak looking to edge out. He's got him. This is what you call the short track pinch. And Novak will take a position away from Spearman by using Scott Dunlap to slow up the 92 enough for him to get by. I had to coin a new term out of that one. Call it the crab claw, getting pinched. I don't know if that'll work very well or if it'll catch on. Maybe somewhere down here by the beach because we're close to the ocean here at New Smyrna. Who knows? We'll call that move the crab claw. We'll throw it up there. Let you guys decide on that one. Trevor Edwards still in second, about 4.2 seconds behind Joe Schaefer Jr. On about a car length behind Michael Baxter, the number 4 driver. Excuse me, Michael Baxter. Russell Berry, how about that? I'm sure Russell Berry likes me calling him Michael Baxter. Russell Berry in the number 4 machine. Krikorian will get by him. Matthew Eddy, the number 88 machine there to the outside of Trevor Edwards. Among some of the drivers we've got here tonight. Caution flag comes out. And Michael Osdick, the number 22, just gave some breathing life to this race and will reel in the 4-second leader, Joe Schaefer Jr., here in the final 15 laps of this race. Let's go back and take a look. So Osdijk will roll through the turns here. Out of turn number 2, right behind Samuel Roush. We'll see what happens in that. Chevrolet will get loose in turn 2. Maybe contact here between them, and it looks like it is. Little quarter panel, nose to corner panel. And that'll put Osdijk into the wall. Spin him around a little bit and some contact. You see the crinkle on the bumper there. And Osdijk will go down pit road for a little bit of damage repair. So again, Joe Schaefer Jr. getting reeled in. It's going to make things interesting here tonight. Conrath goes back down pit road. So Trevor Edwards will start to the opposite side if Schaefer Jr. chooses he wants the outside. Edwards will start to the inside. I think Samuel Roush here is going to get a lap back. Be given a lucky dog, as they call it, as he's right behind the race leader. Some of these other guys, well, may get wave arounds. Ben Nile, Zach Rionen there. Again, your top 5 as it stands right now: Joe Schaefer Jr., Trevor Edwards, David Krikorian, Kyle Souza, and Jimmy Mullis. Lights will be off the pace car the next time by, and it'll be 10 to go when we get the green. Again, you're watching the JVM Racing 125 live from New Smyrna, part of the Tundra Super Sim Series. Appreciate you tuning in this Thursday night, whether you got us out there on Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook Live, folks. Always appreciative for you to tune in to watch the great racing action that takes place here on the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network. Samuel Roush looks like he's going to go down pit road. Here we go. They begin bunching up. Lights extinguished on that Mustang iRacing pace car. Souza will be in 4th position. Krikorian 3rd. Right behind. So 1-2 right there. Schaefer Jr., Krikorian top 2 in points on the lower group. Edwards and Souza up on the high side. Here we go, folks. Ready to go back green. 10 laps to go. Pace car. We'll dive into the pits. Off turn 4. Green flag flies. So Schaefer Jr. surges out to a 3/10 of a second lead. Trevor Edwards is going to look to fight hard with him here. 9 laps to go. It'll be 8 at the line. Had a great run that time. First caution flag coming out on lap 41. Second on lap 109. Edwards really fighting hard to reel in the number 6. Prior to the caution flag, he had a 4-second lead over the field. 7 laps to go. Krikorian back in 3rd. Souza 4th. Mullis trying to get there as well in 5th position. It'll be 5 to go the next time by. And Schaefer Jr. can't quite shake Trevor Edwards. We saw this car run. It is a long run setup car. Typical trait here of Joe Schaefer Jr. Caution flag comes out. Oh, this may be getting interesting now, folks. The number 50 of Michael Carlson looking really slow here. Let's go back and take a look. Seeing exactly what happened, brought out this late race caution. And it looks like Conrath may be the one involved in this one, looking really wobbly out of turn number 2. And there it is, up in the wall. Ty Spearman involved. Conrath is going to get it. So Ty Spearman was involved in that one. Question on the night, will we get a restart? We may get a one-lap shootout. We'll know here as if the lights come off the pace car this time by, we got a one-lap shootout. If not, it's all said and done. Let's take a look. Cross your fingers. Let's hope for a one-lap shootout here at New Smyrna. Week number 9. Let's see what happens. Pace car comes across, and looks like this one's going to be done. This one will end under yellow. Thought we was going to get a one-lap shootout, but it was 5 to go just as the caution flag had come out. So they will pace this one out. Joe Schaefer Jr. will pick up the win. As I take a look here, it looks like it's going to be a second win this season. Take a look through, and I think his last win, his first win of the season, came early on. Actually, it was race number 1 at USA Speedway, USA International Speedway, the Car Show 125, back on the 21st of September. Set the tone early on, and now still, again, week number 9, 11-point lead over David Krikorian. Here, as we're pacing it out on the final lap, white flags in the air. And off turn 4, they'll see the checkered flag, and week number 9 will come to a close with Joe Schaefer Jr. taking that checkered flag. And the fireworks will sound off in the backstretch. And there's your winner right there, the number 6 of Joe Schaefer Jr. And doing his signature Polish victory lap here. And he'll pull right there into victory lane. There you have it, folks. Your winner tonight, the number 6 of Joe Schaefer Jr. Here's a look at the final race summary results. Before we get to the results, out of the 125 completed here tonight, 3 lead changes, 4 total cautions. And we'll bring up the results on the screen for you. While we do that, we'll look to get you some driver interviews.
Long running.
Joining us now, finishing 3rd here tonight, 2nd overall in the series points, 11 points behind Joe Schaefer Jr., driving the Exalta machine here at New Smyrna, the number 66. David Krikorian joins us. And David, I tell you, kind of a good battle there with Kyle Souza for a while there, and sneaking around him, it almost caught him asleep. And yeah, it really had to. It looked like you really had to fight for some position here tonight at this track. Where would you rate New Smyrna on tracks that you really like to race at?
I never really liked racing here in the first place, let alone we've not really had very many clean races here, just in general. But we haven't run here in about a year and a half since they updated the dynamic track, and yeah, I don't know, with those changes they made late last year, it's made it real hard to pass. And I knew I had a car I think that could contend with Joe. Once the tires really kind of wore in, it was almost impossible to really make a clean pass.
Seeing everybody fighting for that extreme lower groove. Had about a 69-degree track temp at the start of this race tonight, and really tough. It was pretty much, we saw some good 40, 50, 60 laps of green flag racing here after that first caution flag had come out. And basically, the longer green flag running can make things a little bit more tedious, like you said, trying to pass. But you do pick up a third-place finish tonight. 2 weeks left. We go to Myrtle Beach next Thursday night. In 2 weeks, we are in Lanier for the championship. What is your thoughts on trying to stay alive here in the hopes of a championship battle against Joe Schaefer Jr.?
It's going to kind of be really hard at this point. Joe's quick enough that something would probably have to happen, even though it's still really close. And we weren't good last season at Myrtle Beach, and I blew up at Lanier running third last season, so at this point, it's just kind of taking it race by race, and we'll see where we're at.
Well, hopefully you stay optimistic. I know you've had some troubles in the past, but hopefully you keep the optimism high, and anything could happen. Do you have anything, Sir shout-outs you want to give for your third-place finish tonight?
I'll give a shout-out to Tim Bells. He did a little bit of last-minute work on this before he went to go run some errands, and probably the best die wear I've seen on the Super Late that I've probably ever seen after 20 laps. I mean, it didn't feel like it was really saving tires, but it did.
Well, congratulations here, and we look to see you do battle in Myrtle Beach coming up next Thursday night.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, folks, we're going to go live now to the driver of that Glazers 32 car, and I hope I get it right. I always say Glazers. If I say it wrong, I do apologize, Trevor. But I tell you what, talking about this at the beginning of the race here tonight, what in a dramatic later half season this has been for you. Not only did you win the Fall Brawl Spectacular, you locked into that race through a non-winners race, and then ironically the next day you go out and win from green to checkered, win a race in the Tundra Super Sim Series. Tonight you come out and hard to beat that number 6 car here at New Smyrna, but you in the next best position in second tonight. Tell us a little bit about your thoughts on this race and trying to hopefully get you a top 5 finish in the season, as coming into tonight, you're 10th overall in the series points.
Yeah, I started out the season with like 3 20th place runs, getting crashed early and stuff. So the season has definitely turned around and found a lot of speed. And Joe was just unreal tonight. I knew he was going to be unreal during practice. It was going to be really tough to beat him.
Definitely carrying almost a 4-second lead at one point, though. You didn't really have much pressure behind you except for when we had the restarts. That final restart, the one where it's probably in the early 100s there, we'll call that one the final restart. What was the thoughts here on trying to stay ahead of David Krikorian and Kyle Souza?
Yeah, I knew Joe was running for points, and so was DK, so I was just trying to be really respectful to either one of them, but happy to finish in between them, get Joe a little bit more room in the points, extend his gap, so that's always good.
All right, you got any thanks or shout-outs you'd like to give for your runner-up finish?
I think Joe and Ty Spearman built the setup, so this thing was rolling tonight, made a couple of changes that I kind of wish I didn't, but just thanks to the posse and Glasser's Collision.
All right, well, looking forward to seeing you in these final 2 weeks coming up, and we'll see you then.
Thanks, man.
There you have it, folks. Trevor Edwards in the number 32 car coming in second position here tonight. And now we're going to go live with the man himself, the car that was on a rail carrying a 4-second lead. He led 77 total laps here at the JVM 125. Your winner tonight, the number 6 of Joe Schaefer Jr. And Joe, coming into tonight with that 11-point margin over David Krikorian, what was your thoughts at the start of this race on where you needed to be and how you were going to get to the front?
Well, for starters, I knew we had a really, really fast car. We put a lot of time into it this week. Can't thank Trevor and Ty enough. Those guys put me in the best car every week, and I just try to make the most of it. But starting from 6th or wherever I was, I saw DK in front of me, and I knew that I just needed to finish in front of him. I didn't exactly expect to run away like I did, but I knew I wanted to get in front of DK, and I didn't want to move anybody to do it. DK always run me clean, and everybody, that I was around all day ran me clean, and I was just trying to find my P's and Q's, and I don't want it to be I don't want it to get messy with the points chase, so it was fun.
Well, definitely the narrow turns on this track, and especially with the cooler track conditions, made it more difficult to pass. You found a lot of opportunity in turn 3 here tonight. Was that one where you kind of were thinking where you needed to go? Because we've seen you keep it really deep in those turns to get underneath the guys and be able to work your way and muscle your way each position.
Yeah, for whatever reason at New Smyrna, the car is just kind of tight going into turn 1, and that's just not a good place to set up a pass. But after that restart, when I finally got around Kyle, I knew the tires would be a little cooler, so I could drive it a little harder off of turn 2, and I knew we were hooked up in 3 and 4, so I drove it in deep, just tried to get door to door with him, and just I didn't want to crowd him, but I knew I was going to have to take some track away if I was going to get around him.
Well, definitely a heck of a job done here tonight, Joe, to maintain not only your series points lead, but pick up your second win, number 2 tonight. First one came at the very first race of the season back on the 21st. We got Myrtle Beach next week and Lanier in 2. What are your thoughts on those final 2 races?
Well, Myrtle Beach has always been the question mark on the season, but for this week, I was doing just a tribute to my teammate Ty Majeski and put a Snowball Derby banner on my front windshield. I figured it would be good luck because the kid owns New Smyrna in real life, and it paid off. Might have to do something like that for Myrtle Beach. Come fully prepared, probably put in a couple 100 laps of practice this week, and try to duplicate this week's results, I guess.
Well, excellent job done here. Any additional thanks or shout-outs you want to give for your win?
Yeah, I want to thank everybody with the posse. Charlie at the Button Box Shop, Cody, Loco Toco Designs, and you and Matt, as always, for running the league.
All right, congratulations, Joe, on win number 2 here in the Tundra Super Sim Series. Looking forward to these final 2 weeks in your defense on a season series championship.
All right, thank you, Dustin.
There you have it, folks. Joe Schaefer Jr. coming away with the win here tonight. Trevor Edwards in second, David Krikorian third, Kyle Souza, Jimmy Mullis rounding out a top 5. Drew Krybeck, Ty Spearman, Brandon Wilkinson, Ken Morin Jr., Matt Rolfe through the top 10. Looking on back, Brandon Copinger, A.J. Rogers, Alex Krasper, Zach Novak will finish 14th, got caught up in a few things here, and was up there close to the top 5. Heartbreak night there for the 14. He'll finish, the number 1, he'll finish 14th. Billy Moan will finish in your top 15. Ben Nile, Russell Berry, Matthew Eddy, Scott Dunlap, Michael Carlson through 20. And looking on back your field, Garrett Conrad, Zachary Onan, Samuel Roush, Michael Osdeek, Michael Beamish, Michael Baxter, 3 Michaels in a row. Could you get any better than that? Donald Clark and Chris Shannon, the 28-car field here at New Smyrna. Now we're going to go live. See if I can sneak him in here. Going to go live now to Matt Rolfe to get his final thoughts on the night. He always gets that tongue-in-cheek smirk there. Matt, what a race it was, and what a night, a defining night here at New Smyrna to set up these final 2 weeks, as Joe Schaefer Jr. really needed to be in front to maintain some breathing room in his 11-point lead over David Krikorian. Krikorian really had to muscle his way through these positions tonight to get up into the top 3. Trevor Edwards, it's just amazing to see this kid's picking up speed late in the series like this, and definitely throwing some wild cards here in points, continuing on next week to Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, it was a pretty solid race overall. This is a track, like I mentioned before the race, that we've had some issues at in the past with plenty of cautions. That's why we haven't run it in over a year now. I think the last time we ran it was last year in June. So it's kind of unknown what was going to happen tonight when we ran it, and I was glad to see early on guys were pretty happy with just settling in, letting each other go when they were side by side. And as the run went on, the tires started going away, and it was even harder to pass. So, like you mentioned, Joe got up there to the lead, and DK stayed up there up front. Trevor made his way forward. So a lot of those guys just had the speed overall throughout the night, and while the guys fell off, they stayed right up there. So they had good runs. Yeah, that points battle is going to be still pretty close. I don't think it's really going to change all that much. Joe will gain a few points for getting some lead lap bonus points and finishing a couple spots ahead, but it should be still under 20 points. So that's a pretty small gap heading into the last 2 weeks. Anything could happen.
Definitely looking forward to it. One of the things mentioned here tonight was, you know, the length of time that you have not run this track, and since then, dynamic track. And for those of you folks who do not quite understand what dynamic track racing is, in iRacing, it was a implementation that they come out and tried to create and simulate real-life track conditions, meaning temperatures on the track where cars continually run. They'll be a little bit warmer, more rubber will be laid down. Really, the overall conditions of the track can vary depending upon how the cars race upon them, depending upon weather conditions, depending upon sunlight, shade, so many different things. It's been a monumental change to further the simulation of racing. And Matt, you know, you're talking about dynamic tracks and how they've come into play, especially when you have not been at a track in this length of period of time, and your prior knowledge of where you need to race. How much did it impact your setup? How much did it impact your strategy overall coming to a track and racing this way?
Well, most of the time with a dynamic track surface, let's say like a smaller track like Lanier or South Boston, before the new surface model updates, those are mostly bottom groove tracks, and after the updates, once you get a decent run in, maybe 20-30 laps, that outside groove will start to come in. The groove will move up. Guys can start to search around for different grooves and different lines to run throughout the race. So here at New Smyrna tonight, it made it 2 grooves, but it also made them pretty damn equal. So it was actually really hard to pass throughout the night. I know I was pretty tight on entry through the center, which made it tough to do anything throughout the race. It was hard to get underneath guys. I know a lot of guys are fighting the same issue I was. So this was actually a track that probably the new surface model, it didn't really hurt it, but it made the 2 lanes pretty equal. It made it hard to do anything. But before the new surface model, this was a 1 groove track as well. So it's good on one hand, bad on the other, but it definitely made for some cleaner racing tonight because guys were able to move around, do some different things.
Definitely had some green flag, almost like I believe 60 laps of green flag racing at least. At one point between the first and second caution flags. So definitely a good night of racing. 2 weeks left. Looking forward to it. Any other thoughts here before we let you go?
I think that's it. Yeah, like you said, we're looking forward to the next couple weeks. Myrtle Beach is next week. That's a track we've only been to once before, and it's a long race, 152 laps there. So that'll be, I think that'll be a big race in the points championship because we've only been there once before. I don't know if these guys have quite figured it out yet in league racing. So we could have a big swing one way or the other next week, and then Lanier is a track we've been to just about every season, so we kind of know or drivers kind of know what to expect when we go there. So that'll be a good race, but these last 2 weeks will be interesting for sure.
Well, definitely looking forward to it, Matt. Appreciate you coming in here and giving us your final thoughts on the race, and definitely an exciting 2 weeks remaining here on the Tundra Super Sim Series.
Absolutely. We'll see you then.
There you have it, folks. Matt Rolfe stopping by to give his final thoughts on tonight's race and upcoming 2 final races of the season, and they are definitely going to be one to watch. Definitely want to put it on your calendar. Next Thursday night, we got Myrtle Beach Speedway in the schedule. And again, like I said, it's the track known to take a 10th off of your time just by pushing your car through the pits. So very, very rough track conditions, so we'll have to see how that'll play out. But again, tonight's sponsors: Tundra Super Late Models, Midwest Power Sourcing, HeinzPride.com, Callaway Investments, Donuts Designs, Logo Toco Designs, The Car Show, Area 52 Designs, JVM Racing, Down East Chassis Works, and the Posse, your sponsors for your Thursday night Tundra Super Sim Series. That is going to do it for us, ladies and gentlemen, and appreciate you tuning in to watch racing here on the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network. Again, as always, whether you got us out there on Facebook Live, YouTube, or even Twitch TV. Appreciate the viewership. Put it on your calendar. We got more racing coming your way. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next Thursday night here on the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network. I'm Dustin Caldwell. On behalf of the Tundra Super Sim Series, the Sim Auto Racing Association, JVM Racing, and iRacing.com, saying thanks for watching, folks. Have a good night.